Live from Innovation Park on the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Tuesday, April 27th. We have details on President Biden's historical announcement acknowledging the massacre of Armenians, as well as information on the fatal shooting of Ma'Khia Bryant.
We also have more on Penn State pushing for students to get tested for COVID-19 before leaving campus, along with entertainment, sports, and weather.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Zach Gershman.
And I'm Riley Curry.
As the semester comes to a close and students are planning their trips back home, Penn State's encouraging the student body to get tested for COVID-19 before leaving campus for the summer. The university is urging students to get tested about 3 days before their departure from Happy Valley. Kelly Wolgast, the director of Penn State's COVID-19 Operations Control Center, said since some students may have high-risk family members or be in contact with unvaccinated individuals, it's worth getting tested at one of Penn State's free walk-up testing centers. The Hintz Alumni Center and Pagula Ice Arena are open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday for all students.
The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, also known as PennDOT, is conducting a $2.8 million construction project. The PennDOT is planning to improve 6.5 miles of roads in Center and Clifton County. Road construction on Route 322 West from Sandy Ridge Trail to Reese Hollow Road started yesterday. Route 322 East will be closing starting in the middle of May. Route 322 near Port Matilda is currently being worked on. Traffic fluctuations are expected to continue.
44-year-old Larry David Jr. was arrested last week when 1,450 bags of heroin was found in his car's trunk. The police were granted a search warrant for David after he allegedly sold crack cocaine and heroin to police informants as recently as 2 months ago. David was driving on Route 322 when the police pulled him over and seized over $14,500 worth of drugs. Now David will have to wait until Wednesday, April 28th for his preliminary hearing, but was denied bail after his preliminary arraignment. He is faced with multiple felony and misdemeanor drug-related charges. With the school year coming to an end, field reporter Izzy Hayes caught up with some of Penn State students to hear how their experiences were during the pandemic.
As the 2020-21 school year comes to an end, Penn State students have a lot to reflect on due to the drastic changes COVID has created on their lives. And this week, we were able to get insight on a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior's life as a student in a global pandemic.
COVID didn't exist this year. I think I definitely would have an easier transition into college from high school. I feel like since classes were online, things were different. I wasn't able to get the full college experience by going to lectures. So trying to make friends was kind of difficult. So I had to resort to Facebook or stuff like that to meet friends. And also football games and basic first year things that I was super excited for originally coming, I wasn't able to do. I feel like the friends I did make, I was able to get really close with them since we had to be in small groups. So I definitely was able to really create a deeper bond with my friends that I have.
The only real positive part of COVID for me, I guess, was at first it was nice not having to wake up early and go to classes and being able to go back and rewatch my lectures and stuff was good. But I think by now I'm kind of over it. I think my year would have been a lot different because I'm on the club lacrosse team. So we weren't able to do anything or have any practices this year. And also, I think I would have met a lot more people in classes and in the different clubs that I'm in. A downfall of COVID for me was just I was kind of stuck in my apartment a lot more. And I think my motivation to do my schoolwork or work out and stuff went down significantly.
Being isolated from others is really taken a toll on myself, and I've seen it with my friends and stuff. So I would say that's probably one of my least favorite things about this year. It's been pretty difficult to meet new people and form relationships. I had a lot of extra time to learn new things and get closer with the people that I am spending my time with nowadays. So yeah, the flexibility of my daily schedule has been nice.
The biggest downfall of COVID, I think, is definitely the no football games because I never really knew it was going to be my last game when it was, as a student anyway. So that's just really sad to know that I never got to have that last time, seeing alma mater in the stadium in the normal game next to 100,000 fans. I think I would have maybe enjoyed my last a few more times, last time in the library, last time taking a test in person, and all of those things that I never really knew would have been my last. And I also think a lot of the extracurriculars would have been huge in a sense for my socialization, because I've really only seen the people that I interact with in my immediate friend group and the people I live with. I've definitely spent a lot more time with my family at home than I would have if school was completely in person, because I've had the flexibility to go home during the week, which I never really had in the past. So I've gotten to see my family and spend a lot more time with them that I wouldn't have gotten any other way. So that was really exciting. And also I think it's caused me to be a little bit more creative with how we have fun. So we've done things that with my friends, my roommates, that we wouldn't have done had COVID not been a thing. So that was kind of a bright side, that we were able to switch things up, going to the Arboretum to have a picnic, or just some little things like that we probably never would have done.
Although COVID has brought upon many struggles this year, students have definitely experienced some positives along the way. Good luck to everyone with finals this week, and for PSN TV, I'm Izzy Hayes.
Since Saturday, April 24th, 80 new cases of COVID-19 have been reported in Center County. According to the Pennsylvania Department of Health, since the start of the pandemic, there has been a total of 14,668 confirmed cases within the county. In recent weeks, the rate of positive tests has decreased slightly, dropping from an 8.9% to an 8.8%. Since Saturday, 14,981 people have been fully vaccinated in Center County, and 2 residents have died from the virus. A select number of Penn State football fans were given the opportunity to attend a second spring practice this past Friday. However, many were not satisfied with the handling of the situation. Field reporter Chloe Mesogaitis has more.
With just weeks till graduation, several Penn State seniors had the opportunity to cheer on their Nittany Lions during a specially scheduled football practice this past Friday. Seniors were reunited in Beaver Stadium for this practice due to this year's blue and white game being exclusively open to freshmen. Due to rising COVID cases, only University Park seniors currently enrolled in in-person or remote courses were eligible to attend. Penn State President Eric Barron stated him and his team are grateful to have extended these practices so seniors can show off their spirit and participate in this Penn State tradition.
While COVID-19 restrictions have let up at 50% capacity for outdoor events, this gives seniors the opportunity to enjoy one final time in their Penn State student section.
However, not all seniors believe this practice was a fair trade-off for the blue and white game. One senior, Emily Corbel, says she is glad that an effort was made for seniors to have this special opportunity, but believes there could have been better alternatives.
If this is in response to the seniors wanting, something special, then I think that it was the right call in a sense of having something delegated to seniors as something special. If it was kind of just a random thrown together thing, I don't know. I think it could be much better than what they put together.
Corbel continued by adding her own thoughts on how Penn State could have made this senior event more appealing.
If you were going to have the practice for seniors and you were going to invite freshmen, why not just flip them and have the practice for freshmen and invite seniors to blue white? Because that would make more sense, especially because that's a Saturday and things like that.
Like others, Corbel says she wishes this practice would have been on a weekend, as nothing beats true Penn State tradition. For PSN News, I'm Chloe Mesogaitis.
Coming up next, Kaylee Grill will bring you the latest in entertainment after this week's weather report.
From the students of Penn State Meteorology, here is your Penn State Campus Weather Service forecast.
Good evening and happy Tuesday, everyone. I'm student meteorologist AJ Mastrangelo here with your PSN forecast for today. If you take a look at our weather headlines here in the State College area, those above average temperatures today will look to last into tomorrow. Also, as we head into tomorrow afternoon and evening, expect a chance of showers and thunderstorms, and that chance will last into Thursday and also into the early morning on Friday as well. Also expect a nice weekend in store, seasonal temperatures and sunny skies on tap for Saturday, and Sunday looking like more of the same. So for our future weather now, as we head into tomorrow evening here at 5 p.m., you can see those clouds and showers to our north and west here of the State College area. As we head into the evening, those showers will be possible here in the State College area. Cannot rule out an isolated thunderstorm as well. But then as we head into the overnight hours, those showers will still be possible, but expect considerable cloudiness. And then as we head into the day Thursday, we'll be seeing our next rainmaker during the day Thursday. Here we have Thursday afternoon, much of the state covered by rain and showers. And then as we head into Thursday evening and overnight, those showers will look to continue across our region. But then as we head into Friday morning and Friday afternoon, we'll be seeing some clearing. Some showers will certainly be possible during the day Friday, cannot rule that out, but certainly a much better day on tap. So now for precipitation here, tomorrow night, expecting not much here in the State College area, anywhere from 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. Some isolated higher amounts can certainly be possible with those embedded thunderstorms and downpours. But then the real rainmakers as we head into the day Thursday, many places in Center County will possibly be seeing over 1/2 inch. Places to our west will be seeing more than that, and places to our east will be seeing less than that. Certainly, these rainfall amounts are just one prediction tool that we use to determine how much precipitation will fall. So certainly different thunderstorms and different downpours can lead to higher amounts or lower amounts depending on what side you get. So now for tonight's forecast, expect those mild temperatures to continue. Only a low of 58 tonight. Expect partly cloudy skies and that wind out of the southwest from 2 to 8 miles per hour. As we head into tomorrow, expect a very mild day. High temperatures sitting in there at 80 degrees. So certainly if you're out there, make sure you got a water bottle if you're exercising or anything like that. So the mix of sun and cloud during the day, a PM shower or a thunderstorm certainly possible, not out of the question, and that will continue as we head into tomorrow night as well. That wind will look to switch to the west from 7 to 13 miles per hour, so it will be a little bit breezy out there during the day tomorrow. So now for our 7-day forecast, those sun and clouds tomorrow, and then Thursday it's going to cool down a little bit with those showers and embedded heavier rain bands. And then Friday, expect a lingering shower, but cooler temperatures, some clearing for Friday night, making for a beautiful day on Saturday. High temperature is 60 degrees, waking up a little bit chilly on Saturday morning and Sunday morning as well. Those clouds will look to build as we head into the day Monday, but nonetheless, a beautiful beginning to next week. From the Penn State Campus Weather Service, I'm AJ Mastrangelo for PSN. Have a great night.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Kaylee Grill with your entertainment update. It's no secret that Penn State has an extensive network of notable alumni. Josh Inglis, class of 1998, is starting to make a name for himself too. He's the co-founder and chief operating officer of Fuzi. The company creates protective products for smartphones out of materials adapted from those used in spacesuits, space shuttles, and race cars. Fuzi was recently featured on an episode of ABC's Shark Tank, a show that gives contestants the opportunity to pitch their ideas to a panel of investors. Fuzi struck a deal with Lori Grenier and Robert Herjavec after being denied to get on the show the first time they applied. Since the episode aired, Fuzi sales have skyrocketed. The team began hearing from retailers who previously ignored their calls. In the future, the team plans to create more protective gear for devices like AirPods and GoPros. The company even recently released products with an antimicrobial lining. Flo Ryda will officially headline Movin' On's virtual end-of-the-year music festival. Pink Sweats and Floor & Co. will also perform. The event is free for students and funded by their student-initiated fees. The online festival will begin at 7 p.m. on April 30th to commemorate the last day of classes for the spring semester. It will be live streamed through Zoom and produced by WPSU Radio. The indie rock band Floor & Co. will open the Movin' On Festival after winning its annual Battle of the Bands competition earlier this month. David Bowden, known as Pink Sweats, is an American singer-songwriter. He released his first EP in November 2018 and followed it up with the debut album Pink Planet in 2021. His performance will begin at 7:15. Lastly, Flo Ryda, a Florida-based rapper, singer, and songwriter, will take the stage at 8 p.m. He broke into the scene in 2007 with his breakout single, Low, which topped the US charts for 10 straight weeks. Since then, he has released 4 studio albums and sold more than 100 million records worldwide. The 2021 Oscars were held this past Sunday, but the 93rd Academy Awards ceremony was a little bit different than previous years. Playoff music didn't interrupt speeches and it was more relaxed. History was made with Chloe Zhao becoming the second woman to win Best Director and the first woman of color to take home the award. Minari Young-ya Jung won Best Supporting Actress, which was the first Korean acting win in the show's 93-year history. Anthony Hopkins won Best Actor for The Father, beating out the late Chadwick Boseman, who had been the fan favorite. Nomadland from Chloe Zhao won Best Picture and Best Actress for Frances McDormand, making that 4 Oscar wins for the actress. Nomadland won 3 Oscars overall, which was the most of the night. Among those that took 2 were Mank, The Father, Tenet, Judas and the Black Messiah, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and Soul and Sound of Metal. Netflix won more awards than any other studio with 7. Disney Plus and Amazon Studios both earned 2, and Facebook won its first ever Oscar. That was your entertainment update. Stay tuned because after the break, Kelly Warner will bring you the latest from the world of sports.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia?
Let's do it.
What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year?
Huh.
The answer? 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's
Wow.
right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, by the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Kelly Warner with your sports update. 2 Penn State players were selected in the 2021 Premier Lacrosse League College Draft, which aired on NBC Sports Network on Monday night. Mac O'Keefe was drafted by the Chaos in the first round with the 6th overall pick, while Gerard Arceri was taken by the Atlas in the 4th round with the 26th overall pick. Penn State has had 4 players taken over the first 3 PLL college drafts, including Grant Ament going number 1 by the Archers last year. O'Keefe is the highest goal scorer in NCAA Division I history with 219 goals in 65 games played, breaking the previous record of 212 goals in 75 games. He has added 47 assists to give him 266 points, while also contributing 99 ground balls and 28 caused turnovers. This draft news comes after the Nittany Lions earned the number 3 seed in the upcoming Big Ten tournament. They will host 6th-seeded Johns Hopkins in the quarterfinal round on Saturday at Panzer Stadium. The game is scheduled for 6 p.m. on Big Ten Network. Speaking of O'Keefe, field reporter Aiden Turok has more on the record-breaking performance of the overtime win against Michigan last week.
It has been a rough season for Penn State lacrosse,
The last Friday's
Thank you,
overtime
Sophie.
win against Michigan was a huge bright spot. Despite trailing at half, the Nittany Lions came roaring back and were able to beat the Wolverines in overtime here at Panzer Field.
But after the game, everyone started to back O'Keefe. O'Keefe, who's a graduate student, scored his 213th goal in the second quarter, which made him the all-time leading scorer.
However, Mack was not done there. He had 6 goals in the afternoon, including the game winner in overtime, which gave Penn State the 14-13 victory. I had the chance to talk to Mack and ask him what he attributes all of his success to.
I think after all else fails, you got to fall back on your work ethic. And I credit everything I do and my success to my work ethic overall.
This is a big stretch for the Nittany Lions as they approach the NCAA tournament. And all eyes will be on Mac O'Keefe. For PSN News, this is Aiden Torra.
The men's volleyball team received the number 6 seed in the 2021 NCAA tournament. Will face number 7 Belmont Abbey College in the play-in match on the May 3rd at Ohio State's Covelli Center in Columbus. The match is set to begin at 5 p.m. The Nittany Lions punched their ticket to the NCAA tournament with their 32nd EIVA tournament championship victory last Saturday. They took down George Mason 3-1 on their home court in Rec Hall. This will also be Penn State's 32nd NCAA tournament appearance and its first since 2017. Penn State will take on Belmont Abbey for the first time in program history as the Crusaders won the Conference Carolinas tournament to reach their first NCAA tournament. The Golden State Warriors launched a new non-fungible token collection, becoming the first team in U.S. professional sports to release their own officially licensed NFTs. Warriors president Brandon Schneider said, quote, "This is the wave of the future, so we've been studying what we've best way for us to get involved and create something for our fans," end quote. This comes after the NBA has seen huge returns on its platform, NBA Top Shot, that allows fans to buy, sell, and trade numbered versions of officially licensed video highlights. Since launching last fall, the NBA has raked in an estimated $500 million in sales from Top Shot. The Warriors' new NFTs will include digital championship rings to commemorate each of the team's 6 NBA titles, as well as digital ticket stubs from some of their most iconic games, such as their victory over the Memphis Grizzlies on April 13, 2016, which broke the NBA single-season record for wins at 73. A portion of the proceeds from the NFT auction will go to the Warriors Community Foundation, which works to promote educational equity in the Bay Area. That was your sports update. After the break, interview anchor Juliana Turtle will bring you a special interview with Penn State cheerleader Carter Kelly.
Students arrive into Beaver Stadium, they know they're in for a good time. Led by our very own cheerleaders and band, they all take the school spirit to a new level. Today I have the opportunity to speak with Carter Kelly, who is on the Penn State cheerleading team and plays an important role when getting Penn State fans hyped up on game day. Thank you so much for speaking with me today, Carter.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So what is your role on the cheer team and what are the responsibilities that come with it?
So a little bit about me is that I am a 4th-year senior team member on the team. I'm on the co-ed team and I am the senior captain this year. And responsibilities that I have this year include pretty much getting the team together without our coaches having to be telling everyone what to do. It makes communication easier. So my responsibility is to communicate for the coaches when needed. My responsibility is also to ensure that the team is following instructions when it comes to getting ready for practice, during practice, and even post-practice. During this pandemic, I'm also responsible for reminding the team that our weekly COVID tests are getting completed on time. I'm also responsible for possibly, if we're able to with the pandemic this year, but in general, team bonding activities, also getting ready for alumni events, pep rallies, and all these other miscellaneous events.
So how have you guys been preparing for the couple of spring practices that Penn State allowed this season and the upcoming fall 21 season in general?
So for these Penn State practices that just occurred, Penn State has yet to allow the cheer and dance teams on campus to practice. So we had to go rent a facility off campus. And with that, we had only about 2 practices a week to prepare for this, which we this year, unfortunately, we're not able to be on the field and stunt and throw baskets and all the skills that we do, but we were still able to prepare for them in the facilities that we rented. We went over how the girls, for example, are going to be now dancing on bleachers instead of on the ground. We went over how guys are going to be using their megs to show like their crowd control and their spirit. And we overall just had to learn how to give formations and prepare while we're standing in such a different environment now. Working on fall training, which that week are able to hopefully start stunting again and start tumbling and stuff like that. We're in hopes that maybe we can, so we're preparing for that. Well, the team is. I'm graduating, unfortunately, but they're preparing that hopefully Penn State will be allowed to allow the cheerleaders and dancers back on the field, hopefully.
As you already mentioned, that COVID impacted the cheer team immensely this year. Is there any other impacts that really affected your guys' normal routine?
Well, since the beginning of it all started with just being told we weren't able to practice on campus. It's tough because Penn State doesn't really recognize us as proper D1 athletes quite yet. We're still working on that. So since we're kind of the bottom of the chain, we push ourselves actually even harder to prove that we are. But since we lost the facility, we had to take some time off, find a new facility. We went to one gym nearby, and then afterwards we decided that we needed more space, more height with everything. So we went to another facility, and along with that, we lost some privileges. The athletes get the Morgan Athletic Center, which we get tutoring and all this private study space. We weren't able to use that this year. So there's been a lot of challenges that come up that have impacted us just academically, physically, and even because we're such a spirit team, spiritually, we love being outgoing kids who can participate in alumni events, which Penn State wasn't able to hold this year, or even pep rallies and all those other events. And since everything came to a halt, it just stopped a lot, but we pretty much stayed as positive as we could be.
I mean, that's the best you can do. I'm sorry that you had to go through all of that.
Yeah.
How do you think the blue and white game went, and how do you think that it left an impact on the freshmen here at Penn State?
So the blue and white game was my first and sadly my last Mike Man experience. I was going to be Mike Man this season, and I was unable to do so since Beaver Stadium wasn't open and a possibility for us. But overall, blue and white game went honestly really well for what the circumstances were holding. Obviously, only freshmen being there and miscellaneous others. My job as the mic man was to get them to understand these chants, how we sing along, how we interact with the band, and how we interact with the announcers when we say certain cues, and how we get the players all rowdied and get more of the environment crazier, I guess I could say. But overall, I felt for what the energy could have been if we had 106,000, 7,000, and what we did end up having, it was absolutely awesome. You could definitely feel everyone's missing Penn State football, and they're definitely very excited for this little snip that we have for back in the fall this coming year.
And even though the blue and white game was strictly freshmen, how would you compare it to the spring practice that was mainly seniors? And what would you say were some of the highlights of that game?
So for the senior game, I do know that capacity was smaller. It's a shame because the seniors would have loved to have been at both, or at least the blue and white game. But you can tell the Penn State fans are they're there, the energy there, the love's there, the bleeding of blue and white is still there. Unfortunately, things had to be separated with all this going on, but you can tell the energy that was provided with the capacity that there was definitely still strong for what it could be.
Well, the cheerleading team and the famous Mike Man amplify all the noise and the spirit in Beaver Stadium, and it's hard to picture a game day without them. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today, Carter.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
President Joe Biden made an historical announcement on Saturday as he became the first United States president to recognize the massacre of Armenians in World War I as a genocide. The Armenian people have long awaited the United States recognition, and activists have praised President Biden for doing what no other U.S. president has. At the same time, the country of Turkey is disagreeing with the president's statements as they refuse to refer to the 1.5 million Armenian deaths as a genocide. The Turkish prime minister shared his disapproval on Twitter, saying he entirely rejects the United States' stance. U.S.-Turkish political analyst Ali Chinar said that the public would be disappointed with President Biden's statements and warned that it would cause a strong reaction amongst the Turkish people.
The CDC is recommending the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine to be administered again after it was on pause due to causing blood clots for a select number of patients. The FDA and the CDC originally put a temporary pause on the vaccine when 6 women suffered severe blood clots. About 8 million Johnson & Johnson vaccines have been administered within the United States. 3 women have died from it and 12 have developed severe medical issues. All the women who were affected were under the age of 50 years old. Johnson & Johnson's chief medical officer reported that the company now will be providing a warning label and fact sheet to the public, making them aware of the possible side effects. The pause on the vaccine is scheduled to be lifted by the end of the week.
The United States has officially eclipsed over 230 million administered doses of the COVID vaccine, but cases are still adding up across the country. According to the CDC COVID tracker, there are a combined 380,000 confirmed cases just in the last week. The Sunshine State of Florida has passed Michigan as the state with the most confirmed cases over the 7-day period. Florida has 39,000 confirmed cases, which is 6,000 more than Michigan. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is third on the list with 27,000 cases. In total, there have been 31.8 million cases, along with almost 570,000 deaths.
On April 20th, 16-year-old Micaiah Bryant was shot 4 times by Officer Inglis, which resulted in her being murdered outside of her home in Columbus, Ohio. The tragic incident began with Bryant was being attacked by a group of girls in her neighborhood. The police were called, and within 10 seconds of their arrival, Bryant was dead. Reardon's body camera footage depicts Bryant pointing a knife at another young girl who was pinned against a car prior to the officer opening fire. It's been a week since the murder, and details surrounding the case are still unclear due to the fact that the Columbus Police Department and officials are withholding information. Protests and vigils have been held in Columbus, Ohio, following Micaiah's death.
And that's all for tonight on PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.